Welcome to Pampa Mastery. A warm, very good evening to one and all. Welcome to Pampa Mastery. Pampa is an organization that is for and by private Ayurveda doctors, and as a member, it is my duty to ensure that such activities are promoted that benefit our members and the Ayurvedic community as a whole. As the name suggests, we aim to master new skills. Let's start our session with the prayer.
Chakram Jalugam Rasadam Amrita Kumbham Sukma Swachadi Hridyam Shuga Parivinasat Maulim Ambojametram Kalambodujjalangam Kalitada Vilasacharu Pidambaradyam Vande Ranundarim Tam Nikhilagavana Praudhadavagni Leelam Vande Vande Dhanondarim Tam Vande
Let me introduce our office bearers, General Secretary Dr. Shyam Mohan, President Dr. Krishnadas P, and our Treasurer Dr. Suresh PK. I welcome our President Dr. Krishnadas P for a few words. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Fatimat. Thank you, all participants. Today, we are very happy to be here for the introductory session of our Visha Chikitsa classes going to be held on 8th onwards of this month, up to 14th. This class will be, duration of this class will be 7 days. And all of us know.
8ஆம் தேதியில இருந்தா 8ஆம் தேதியே நான் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ண முடியாது 13 14 அட்டெண்ட் பண்ண முடியாது 7 நாள்ல 5 3 நாள் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ண முடியாது
Atmas, may I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible, but some of the participants are not muted.
Okay.
All the participants, kindly mute yourself, please.
Okay. Pamba, as you know, we are conducting so many mastery classes to develop our skill in our daily practice. This time, we are concentrating upon the Visha Chikitsa. The faculty will be our beloved Dr. Muralidharan sir, AK. He is the professor and principal of MVR Ayurveda Medical College, Parashinikadav, Kannur, and a well-experienced faculty of this subject. And as you know, the Parashinikadav Ayurveda Medical College is very famous about the snake park and everything. So being connected with the Dr. Murali sir, all of us will be getting a chance to the Visha Chikitsa, the Ayurvedic toxicology in the modern era. No doubt, this will be highly beneficial to all of us for our daily practices. When the toxicology, the word comes in the daily practice, it not only remarks about the snake bites or anything like that. You know, so many cases in our daily practices coming with the after effects of the toxins, maybe by the insects bites or by the food infections or like that. Everything will be covered slightly in this 7 days course, and we will be efficient to practice how to handle with such situations. And on behalf of Pamba, I welcome all of you and our beloved Professor, Dr. Muralidharan sir, for this mastery session. Thank you, sir. Thank you, all
Yes, sir.
participants.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now I welcome our treasurer, Dr. Suresh PK, for a few words. Hello, Suresh sir.
Dr. Fatima, Suresh sir
Yes,
will
sir.
be speaking in the final because it's not a network problem. He's not ended, I think.
Oh, okay, sir. So let me request all the participants, please kindly mute yourself, please. All the participants, kindly mute yourself, please. With that, I welcome my beloved teacher and Murli sir, Dr. Muralidharan AK, the professor and principal of MVR Ayurveda Medical College, Parashiri Kadava, Kannur. He has graduated from Ashwini Ayurveda Medical College, Davangere, Karnataka, and passed with university first rank with gold medal. MD in Rasashastra and Baishiji Kalpana from Pandit Taranath Government Ayurveda Medical College, Bellary. His PG thesis was selected as one of the best theses in national level in 2003. He is a well-recognized clinical practitioner in Ayurvedic toxicology. He has worked at Papanisheri Vishachikitsa Kendram as a consultant and renowned academician and guided more than 25 PG dissertations, presented scientific papers in various national and international seminars. So I welcome from my side and on behalf of Pamba, I welcome you, sir, wholeheartedly welcome for the program. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Fatima. Okay. So a very warm good evening to one and all. So respected Dr. Krishnadas sir, Dr. Suresh, my beloved friend Dr. Shyam Prasad, and my student Dr. Fatima. Indeed, it is a very auspicious day and an important day for us. Why? Because I am representing an institution which has more than 60 years of experience in treating the condition what we call the Vishachikitsa or the things which are connected to toxicology. So whenever we get an opportunity to share our experience, we always say yes. Why? Because as an Ayurvedic fraternity, I would like to say that the Ayurveda toxicology has to play a very important role in the treatment part is concerned. But most of the time, due to lack of confidence, with lack of, we have not seen exposure. The practitioner or students, they are not confident enough to practice this particular condition. So to overcome that, we would like to say that we have a very strong background on some areas where the present condition need an Ayurvedic doctor to intervene properly and to be able to treat such conditions. Okay, Fatima, can I share my slide, please?
Yes, sir, you can. You can share now, sir. Sir, please try share screen now.
1 minute. I'm not getting that screen share option.
Let me check.
Yes.
Are you getting now, sir?
No.
On the bottom of your screen, there will be green menu like share.
1 minute, 1 minute. 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 1 minimum series. Minimum series. Correct. Yeah. Yes. Full. Yes. Is it clear now? Dr.
Yes, sir. It's
Fatima?
clear now.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, dear participants, today I give an outlook into what we are actually planning to present in front of you people on a program called Pampa Mastery Program. Okay, which is scheduled from 8 to 14 and 7 days program. So today I'll give you a brief introduction about what exactly in 7 days we are going to cover up, because as a practitioner, I do believe it is my duty to share my knowledge with you people and to make you confident enough to practice the case. And to start with, as you know, the Vishachikilsa, or what we call the Ashtangas, is one among the Ashtangas of Ayurveda. But usually we'll have a doubt about this. It's a clinical subject or a non-clinical subject. Because most of the time in institution where we were students, it have been taught as a non-clinical subject. We believe that it doesn't have much to do with the present scenario. And the syllabus itself is called as Agata Tantram Meyavam Vidhi Vaitakam. So depending upon the area or the school of thought from where you are coming from, or which teacher taught you the particular subject, it differs upon the areas, how we understand the concept, etc., etc. It's all going to depends upon how better we understand this subject. And of course, it's called as a clinical toxicology. In modern medicine, I don't think so we have a very wide branch of clinical toxicology, but I do believe that it is one among the Ashtangas of Ayurveda, and it is talking about more on the clinical toxicological subjects. That's what it has to be propagated among the Ayurvedic practitioners and students, so that they'll get a courage and they'll get exposure to how to handle such subjects. So I do say that it is not a simple classroom subject with practical significance. That should presently going on, but it should not be like that. It should be a subject which is taught with the more and more practical importance. So where do we go wrong? From the beginning itself, we say that Sagata Tantram, it's not a subject supposed to be taught in detail, except that of a PG scholar. None of them go in depth of the subject. Why? Because no much importance is given to that particular topic. So this is the first slide. You can see that there is a quotation saying that it's in Ashtanga Hridayam, an English translation. Very commonly in Kerala, we do use this particular textbook. And it's the first edition. Of course, in second edition, it has been corrected. Just look at the definition of Agata Tantra. What is say that Agata Tantram Nama Sarpa Kita Luta Vrishchika Mushikadi Dashta Visha Venchanatham Vividha Visha Samyoga Ubashapanatham. Of course, it's a compiled book. In Ashtanga Hridaya, you don't get the Ashtangas of Ayurveda in depth and all. So whenever that Ashtangas Ayurveda is explained, the author took the quotation from Sushruta Samhita and is compiled it. So in the first edition, it's told that Sarpa Kita Luta Vrishchika. So the first year itself, a student going to learn the subject or the definition of Agata Tantra in a wrong way. Why? Because Vrishchika is not there in the Moola Grantha. When you get what you call the commentary of Daldana, you take. So Agata Tantra Nama Sarpa Kita Luta, that's enough. Luta Mushigadi Dashta Visha Venjanat, which was Dalhana say that Kitaha Vrishchikadayaha. You say that it's called include Vrishchika, etc. So I don't know how come that particular word come into the definition part. And of course, after talking to that particular author, it also that's supposed to be corrected by, because it is misleading the student. They are going to learn the definition itself as a wrong definition they are going to learn. So of course, in the second edition onwards, we don't have this particular word. So that I mean to say that, of course, not to criticize that particular textbook or nothing to do like that. We does not give much more emphasis on a such subject is concerned. So that should not be there. We should be able to understand the subject as such. So in the first definition first, we should be able to correct it what exactly. Because first year, if the students learn the definition as such, in the second year, when you come, or third year, when you come to Agata Tantra, you say that this is the definition. So because from the beginning, you learned the wrong thing. So you're going to repeat it in the future also. So that should not happen. We should give much emphasis on from the what you can call definition itself. And of course, I doesn't say that it is a clinical subject. We can do a lot of, we can talk a lot about the glory of this particular science in olden days. Of course, people, when there were no much more, what you call better available medical emergency was not there, people used to rush on Ayurveda, and of course we got able to do things on that particular time. But time has changed now because of the advancement of modern medicine as well as modern technologies. We can do much more things in a better way. So I am not to take you into the glory of Ayurveda in olden days by explaining the classical reference in the textbook, etc. People used to do like that, people used to do like that. No, what we can do nowadays, that's what we are going to discuss with you people in the coming of days. Okay, so as you know that in Nagatantra, we usually deal with the emergency medical condition, especially in Vishachikilsa is concerned, surely it is an emergency medical condition. So presently what happened, due to the availability of better medical management, as I told, better sophisticated missionaries, etc., etc., there is a decline in the practice of Ayurveda. You can see that. Sure, that's a reality. We have to accept that. But along with that, the social acceptance also is one of the important factor. Because if a patient has got an insect bite or a snake bite, whatever it may be, you should have the confidence to first consult an Ayurveda doctor who is staying very near to him. What we are propagating nowadays, what's called family physician. First, you should be able to go there, and when you are confident enough to identify the clinical condition and diagnose it properly, then you can judge or you can refer if you could name. Of course, we should also, because some of the condition we cannot manage ourselves. So if you able to refer him into the particular area, particular center, where can they do better thing. And if you could able to, we could able to manage. It's not that what you call subacute or chronic condition, then we can manage it. So the social acceptance has to be brought back. For that, we should have proper exposure to the subject and should be able to understand the subject, and it should be cost effective also. Because poor people usually get affected with the Jangama Visha, whatever the category it may, or Savara Visha, because people working on the field, etc., most of the time going to get affected with the people. So such people, we could be able to treat them with a minimal medication or minimal expenditure. That also should be our motto. To have that, we should be able to tell them that an Ayurveda physician also equally qualified and equally trained in such a way that he can diagnose your condition, and there you get a better guidance where to go or what has to be done. So that should be there. So there we have some limitations. And of course, then glory we can talk about in ancient wisdom with a lot of things, but the present what happened most of the time, identification of an antitoxic plant, it's very difficult. We're not trained in that way. We are not seeing most of the antitoxic plants also. We are not able to identify the plant's property. And second one is availability. Of course, it's a real fact. The availability of the drugs also are reduced dramatically. And again, the difficulty in preparing some antitoxic formulation. In the text you take, there are a lot of such preparations have been explained, and they say that this is very good for this particular condition. Very good. That's good. But what happened? We have practical difficulties in preparing. For simple preparation, some they say that you grind this particular powder with the Sluhi Kshiram, or sometimes they say with Arka Kshiram. Okay. So if you're preparing a yoga, which may somewhere around the range, somewhere around 800 to 900 grams of a powder, to have a bhavana with the Arka Kshira and Surik Kshira, you need at least half liter to 1.5 to 2 liters of Arka Kshiram and Surik Kshira. So how to collect that particular Arka Kshira and Surik Kshira in that quantity? It's all the hurdles we do have nowadays. But of course, when you have a determination, we can do the thing. Okay. And lack of proper understanding. The basic concepts are not well impregnated in our mind or not taught in properly to understand what exactly it is. For example, let's say one simple example. Usually we say that Jangama Visha nullifies Stavara Visha and vice versa. That means Stavara Visha also going to nullify the Jangama Visha. So fact is given in the classics. But most of the time when you teach as a second year student in Magadha Tantra, the very first thing, the mind, what is comes to its mind that, okay, if a person is affected with the Jangama Visha, we're supposed to treat or we're supposed to substitute it with a Stavara Visha. That's what usually comes to our mind. Or if a person is affected with the Stavara Visha, in the treatment part, we use Jangama Visha as it is. Absolutely, that's not the way of understanding. Okay, there are some preparation you can find, especially Dashanga Magadam explained in a Jangama Visha. It is containing one of the drug as a Stavara Visha, as an ingredient in that. So that way we should be able to teach the student, or we should understand the concept. Otherwise, what happens? Most of the time our understanding goes with when you learn Ayurveda with mythological stories, etc., etc. So as you know that when what you can say the Pandavas have been poisoned with the Stavara Visha, and Bhimasena was a very stout enough. People tried him after giving Stavara Visha, become unconscious. They put it into the sea, and he went to the Nagaloga. That's all we heard about in the what we learned or what you can we seen or we in the Indian what you call mythological story of Mahabharata. So when he went to Nagaloga, the snakes have seen a big huge thing. They started biting him. So because of the poison of these particular what you can call snakes, is Stavara Visha got nullified. That's what we from childhood we are seeing, or even in TV etc. We have seen what exactly how that sequence have been shooted and filmed to us. So that gives an idea that a student, when you had an idea of that particular mythological story, what you believe that okay, if a patient is affected with Stavara Visha, it has to be treated by giving Jangama Visha, or if it is Jangama Visha, vice versa. But that's not the way of understanding. So from the beginning, understanding the concept itself, we make it to clear that that is not the way. In Jangama Visha Chikitsa, when you give some medication, it's containing one of the ingredient is a Stavara Visha, so that it nullifies it or it potentiate that particular preparation. That's what it's going to, the pharmacodynamics of the drug going to be working. So that way we could be able to understand that concept. And as I told that we got limited, that we have to accept in the present day. We do not go to the glory and past that was they use. No. Presently, what we do in snake bite is snake bite is concerned. I tell you, my dear friends, we have some limitations. Okay, because it's a very what you call acute medical emergency condition, but not all the snakes. And as you know that all the snake bite are not venomous at all. 80% of the snake bite are non-venomous. In this non-venomous snake bite, an Ayurvedic physician, if he confident enough, he can manage the condition. Okay, but 20%, less than 20 will come nowadays. If you take statistics, less than 50% some take come. That case really need the medical emergency. That time you should be able to do the very accurate first aid, and you should be able to refer the patient to the higher center. Then he will be benefited out of it. If you are referring a patient at the right time, that also gives the fame to the physician. Don't think that if I refer a patient, he never come back to me. No, if you refer at right time with the right diagnosis, you will get appreciation from the higher center where you are referring. Being an Ayurvedic practice, also they say that that doctor knows how to diagnose the condition. So that is the thing. In snake bite, we have limitation. Of course, there are some areas I'll come to that. We'll discuss in the coming up class. What are the snake bite we can an Ayurveda physician can manage. And Ararka Visha, rabies, absolutely we don't treat, even I don't treat the condition, but there are some patents as given to an Ayurvedic physician and why they near to Kerala, and of course we'll discuss that in the coming up day, what exactly you're going to do with the thing. And ingested poison, usually some OP patient or what you call small children, accidentally they ingest the poison. That also, of course, where we need a gastric lavage. If you are allowed to practice the modern emergency condition at your clinic, absolutely in Kerala, we don't have that permission. But if in North India, people who are listening to this particular session, if you have got an opportunity or if you have got a permission to do the thing, of course, you can manage it. Otherwise, we have a ingested poison, we got limitations. But in anaphylactic shock, when you talk about, of course, if you same thing, if you are an emergency medicine with we can manage it with an allopathic support only. We could be able to manage. Otherwise, it's not that easy to manage with purely Ayurvedic preparations. So such condition we have limitation, but in that limitation we got some opportunities or we got some strength that we should identify, and that we should be able to develop and we'll bring it to our practice. For example, Kita Visha. Most of the people in the present condition, they are prone to have such a condition, especially in seasonal wise. In summer season in Kerala, this is season actually will get much more Kita Visha. And again, Lutha Visham, the proper understanding of Lutha Visham is very much important for an Ayurvedic physician is concerned, because Lutham, it's called in the class, is Kritsathamam, very difficult to treat. So I tell you, my dear friends, most of the time, any autoimmune disease is very difficult to treat, or the skin condition which given or gone to that extent that very acute stage it is, we all put it under the Lutha Visha so that we have a limitation to treat. Of course, with the Lutha Visha Chikitsa, it can be managed better, but we should be able to understand. And Vrishchika Visha, of course, in Kerala, we doesn't have much more poisonous Vrishchikas, but when you go to Maharashtra and Karnataka and some part, especially Ballari area and where I did my PG and all, the Vrishchika, especially and the Ratnagiri regions of Konkan, there also we have a lot of issues with this Vrishchika Visha and Mushika. Then again, this is our strength that Dushi Vishanama and Gara Visha. This is subacute and chronic condition will get. People with the Dushi Visha and Gara Visha, can be treated because they're what you call it is exhibited in the form of what you can call skin conditions or dermatological manifestation. Why Dushi Visha turns into a dermatological manifestation? Of course, we'll discuss in some coming of days. And usually we have a what you can call, there is a ego clash between the practitioners, especially when you're working in an institution with a lot of departments. People say that dermatological specialization is not in Ayurveda. Of course, it's right. In Ashtangas of Ayurveda, you don't get dermatological or what you call a branch called dermatology. And this depends upon the individual interest and how they understand the concept. Kaya people also can treat very well skin condition. Agata Tantra people also can treat very well. Shalya Tantra people also can treat very well. And being a non-clinician, I did my PG in Rasastra Vaishakalpana. I say this is a
അവിടെ പോയില്ലേ അവിടുന്ന് വിട്ടത്
I think I'm audible. I'm audible now, isn't it?
Yes, you are audible now, but you were mute for some time.
Okay, I'll come back to that point. Okay, so a chiropractor person can treat dermatological conditions. Shalyatantra people can give, Agatantra people can cure. And as I told, I am a Rasastra Vaishakalpana person. We can also treat it. So all depends upon our personal interest. But along with that, I tell you that we have a better side or a higher side. When you understand this concept on the basis of Visha, we can have a better way of treating the thing. We'll get a little bit early the result when you add an Agata yoga in this particular condition. Why and how? Of course, we all discuss that in the coming up class. How an Agasandra in your prescription, if you add a Dushi Vishari Agadam, exactly you'll get a better result. There no doubt in that. Rather than if a Kachikasa person might not add the thing. So that way, and understanding this dermatological condition on Dushavisha and Garavisha concept, when you keep it in the mind and start treating it, surely you're going to get a better result out of it. That's the reason people say that dermatological condition is an Agata specialty. Whatever it may be, no problem, but you should understand the concept in detail, then it will be easy to do it. Yes. Okay. Okay. Then the need of the hour, as I told you that, the proper understanding and preparation of simple ideal antitoxic formulation. As explained in Prayoga Samucham, etc., there are some antitoxic preparation have been explained, but I tell you it's very difficult preparations, a very complex preparation there. But at the same time, you go to the other books or some other simple books which are available, called Pharmacopoeia nearby your people, and there are some simple antitoxic formulations are explained that can be given. For example, I tell you that a professor called Lekhu Sutta Shekhar and we commonly call LS Vati, very common in North Indian practice and all, especially what we call Maharashtra school of thought and Karnataka school of thought. Very commonly we use the thing. That do have excellent result in skin conditions. Very simple. It's containing only 2 ingredients. You can prepare it in your clinic itself. Okay. So such a way, there are a lot of such simple preparations are explained in our class. We should have to find it out and how to prepare that. What is the pharmacodynamics? So that and all give a better result in your practice. So that we need to develop. And as you know, that of course, in all these 7 days preparation, I don't going to talk you very detail about the theoretical concept. No, you should. I do believe that you should have an idea about it. Just refer yourself, keep it ready with such a basic concept. So because of course, to have a practical understanding in better way, you should have a thorough understanding of the basics, but not as a student. I doesn't ask you to by heart what is the classification. No, actually no need, but you have an idea about it. Just make a note out of it and keep it. This is the flow chart how we classify, isn't it? Savara Jangama is explained. It's called Akratrimam. So basically, Akratrima and Kritrimas are there. Akratrima are 2, Savara and Jangama, and Savara again Vanaspatika or Khanija or Bhaumaj have been identified. And in Kritrima, we say Garavisha and Doshivisha. Different authors have a different opinion, slight different opinion about it. But of course, in general, as a practitioner's view is concerned, you should have this particular classification in mind. So with all these things, a person might have a what you call toxic effect in his body. It's very Vanaspatika, when it's called very common, it is Vanaspatika say of Stavara Visha clinically exhibits in the form of what you call allergic contact dermatitis, unless when it's come in contact. If you ingested, there are a lot of things have been explained clinically how to identify that particular condition. Okay, Khanija also, most of the time, with an ingested form, it will have a toxic effect in the person. That's a Stavara is concerned. But so most of the time, as a clinician, you are going to get a Stavara Visha by means of what you call allergic contact dermatitis presented there, along with, of course, the classical presentation the same. But in Jangama, as I told, we have a lot of varieties of Jangamas, as explained in the classic 16 and all. Of course, it's all theoretical thing like, but anyhow, we'll get all those things. And Garavishan, Dushivisha, surely nowadays, because of the pollution, because of our food habit, because of our lifestyle, will have delayed allergic reactions. It's manifest in the form of different way of explaining the thing. Okay, what you call in the classics, what you say, Vijitran Vikaran, Dadu Prabhavan, Vijitran Vikaran. Sometimes a patient comes to your clinic, you could not have seen such cases before, you don't find the textbook, you might have not seen such a different way of presentation. You get it into what you call Dushivisha or Garavisha sanction. Sometimes we'll get even astonished to see what is the, it looks very simple, but patients say that I have tried almost all the medicaments, but it's not going to be cured properly. What can be done? I have an experience. A 10th standard student come with my OP. The thing that his nails are looks like as red as it if I put some nail polish to that, shining with a almost pink color. It's a 10th standard boy student. If it was a girl, things would have been different. They might would have been not come to hospital. But it's a boy. It creates a lot of social issue to them. He visited almost all the allopathic doctor nearby and Ayurveda doctors. They told nothing. You have to leave with that cannot be diagnosed. But simple understanding of Dushivisha with a simple prescription of 2 weeks, the condition have been relieved completely. So that way, Vichitran, Dadu Pragaran, Vikaran, different kind of will get. That has to be understood and it has to be seen. So of course, in this presentation, very shortly, I tell you some of the Jangama Visha we want to diagnose and some allergic contact dermatitis conditions. Some other condition usually come to as a Visha, because people have a belief that if any skin condition, which is, takes much more time to cure or not getting better result in their what you call other system of medicine, they say that this is because of the poison. So you have to go to an Ayurvedic physician who treat Visha condition. So in Jangama, very common nowadays, increased exposure in the present time because of exposure of more deforestation. All the factors are involved in that. And it's clinical importance we do have in day-to-day practice. And in general, okay, each and every Kita have been explained with a specific signs and symptom. If you could be able to understand that in clinically, it's very easy to treat. Because most of the time, for an example, if somebody comes with a dermatological manifestation, when you look into an Ayurvedic doctor's prescription, most of the time in the right hand side prescription, we write a diagram, we'll get a diagnosis. We write Rekta Dushti. Very fine, nothing wrong in that. Because in Rekta Dushti, Prakaran of Charaka explains in the shortest all the manifestation of dermatological condition. Dermatos only explains. So of course, there's nothing wrong in diagnosing that way. But when you identify or diagnose that condition as a Rekta Dushti, I tell you, you have a difficulty in treating or selecting the drug for that particular Rekta Dushti. When I say Rekta Dushti, you got a large number of preparations can be given or formulation can be indicated for something. So your diagnosis will be very compact. Come to the next level. I tell you that the Rekta Dushti can be compared to, if you compare to any modern dermatological textbook way, we can compare to what you can call. It is a pathogenesis, depending upon the Samprati, we can diagnose it as a Rekta Dushti. But still more, you want to compress it, come to what you call the clinical manifestation, how it look like. Okay, what you call Sakandu, Pidaga, Shava, Bahushravam, we say Vicharjika, very clear. So in Vicharjika, we got a drug of group of drugs can be given, because with there we'll understand the dosage predominance, but still make it compact. You come to that Nidana, which Nidana causes that disease, then it's very easy that Nidana Panimarjana and specific drugs are explained in our classic when its vision is concerned to treat. So most of the Agandija diseases are confined to that of Nidana. Okay, Agandija drug like Sarpadamsha, Ketadamsha, Lutadamsha, very clear, Nidana is understood. But in my knowledge, when you go to that of a Nija Vyadi, very few diseases are identified or diagnosed as by means of its Nidana. And one I believe what you call Mrud Bhakshana Janya Pandu. There we will get a Nidana is because of Mrud Bhakshana. In other all, they are given much more important note to the Nidana, but rather than it is given important to that of the presentation, how it's clinically identified. They given a name for that. Okay. Otherwise, we diagnose on the basis of the pathogenesis, how the Samprapti is going on that way. But for easy treating, if you get a better result in your practice, better confine you to the Nidana. So that's aspect, you'll get a better result, or patient come with a complaint. I have bitten by a scorpion. Very clear. So it is a Nidana. So most of that, even though that way you diagnose it, it is easy to prescribe, because for scorpion, what has to be given depending on the dosage predominance, you should be able to know how to differentiate that. Then it's very easy that you give that particular medicine within 1 or 2 hours only you'll get the result. Within 3 to 4 days, the entire clinical condition can be, or the suffering of the patient can be relieved. So that's where you should be able to understand this concept. So in that way, in Agandija Vyadhis, it's easy that even though it is an acute, of course, there are some limitations. So we keep it that limitation, you refer the condition properly, but other condition can be treated very well with it, or prescription or understanding. So most of the time in Agandhuja or Jangama Visha, two types of presentation will be there, what's called local presentation and systemic presentation. If the what you call the venom or the quantity is injected more, patient's body is not that what you call is sattva is not that good enough, or it does not have that much good what you can call immunity, sometimes it will have an effect on the systemic cells also. So locally, you will see in Rucha, Strava, Kandu, Raga, and Shofa. Irrespective of most of the condition you have this. But when you differentiate this thing with your knowledge, your experience, then it's easy to understand the thing. So just look at this particular picture. It is a insect bite. When it's called insect, a lot of insects are involved in that. But when you have a specific, I think if some of you could be able to see the thing, could diagnosis sort of fine. Otherwise, I give a clue. It is nothing but what is called Markshika Visham. It's a bee bite. Okay, bee, what called bee bite it is. Okay, honey bee bite. So there you can see. Sometimes the percentage is slightly different, but it's a classical one. The second day patient comes with it. Immediately if it comes, you don't see that particular what you call vesicle there. But second day, if you come to see the thing, according to the date or time when the patient come to the patient, the time taken, the presentation sometimes going to mask. Or if you taken some allopathic preparation, if you go to some topical steroid application, the presentation going to be differ. So in that all aspect, the patients, the history taking place a very important role in understanding the condition. And look at this one, very commonly seen. It is nothing but simple what you call mashakam, mosquito bite it is. Well, most of the people have that, especially people come from abroad, because there we don't have much more mosquito. Usually children, they'll come for a vacation to their mother place or native. The third or fourth day they'll come to a doctor, because they'll have such a rashes with itching and all. It can be managed very with our precaution. And this is another condition. Okay, because the stings can be thin. It is nothing but what you can call kanaba or wasp. When a large number of wasps attacks a person, and they're going to inject the venom, if a large quantity is injected, if patient is plus 70 with some morbidity, etc., surely he'll have a combo. He might sometimes go to anaphylactic shock and person may die. But if a strong person is a person of 50 plus, but he could be able to tolerate it properly, so you can see the white patch, isn't it? Immediately after half an hour bite, he came to our institution. We could be able to treat that condition with our own medication. So there you can see the presence of that particular stings there. It can be removed very well and can treat classically explained. And this is another case. Of course, only some of the examples to make sure that we can treat such condition. It is within 1 week we got a result in this particular case. It is a Shatapati or what you call centipede bite. Okay, night she got a bite. She left it as such. After 2 days started becoming a abscess, like a lot of pus with pain and other thing, etc. But we could, with simple or preparation, we could able to treat that condition. Another one. Okay, it's very commonly seen in practice. People have irritation, redness, and itching. They'll come to hospital. This is a very simple way of understanding Pipilica, what you call ant bite. So Pipilica, Shushudha said, very simple preparations. Okay, Krishnamurti will just apply, it will come down. Surely any other preparation, simple Vilwadi or something you apply 2 days, the swelling, etc. will come down. If you're suspecting systemic involvement, give some simple medicine is going to come down. So that way, diagnosing plays a very important and differentiating and which particular Vesha it is, then with simple medication you can manage the condition. It's very common seen in boys without any underwear. Small children, they play when they crawl. Of course, within 1 year and Without the thing, they'll get a bite on this small penis. So it will come up a presentation where that parents will frightened, they'll come to us. Okay. So this condition also we can manage with the our own things. So the purpose of showing that photograph that we should be able to know how to diagnose the thing and what are the doshic predominant. That's very important for us to understand. You don't name it, you don't diagnose with a name or anything, but keeping on the doshic predominance you should be able to say, because Ayurvedic treatment just adding opposite qualities, the things going to come down with the Vishahara drugs. And what medication should be given, that's very important. Among we got a very what I call group of drugs, among that which one has to be collected, that's very important for us. And what will be the prognosis from the beginning? Supposed to know what will be the prognosis. Can it come down within 2 days, or our medication is strong enough to stop the prognosis and give the result? And that we should in that time educating the patient also very important. You cannot prescribe a medicine for 1 week and come after 1 week. No. In that condition, if you have a doubt on the things, the effect of medicine or how better it will be controlled, give a phone number. Other ask him to come 2 days back and after consultation again. If it is come down, if you as we planned, the things are going okay, fine. Otherwise, sometimes you need the better management with the other system and all. So how to identify the doshic predominance clinically? That's very, very important. You should be able to know that thing. Because whenever you Nagasandra or whatever the clinical condition, they say that Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Sannipadita, or sometimes Dvanda also will get. How to identify that? That plays a very important role. I show you some photographs. These are the different types of Pitta Vishas. And here, giving a simple medicine. Bilwadi, of course, Bilwadi can be given in all condition, but here doshic specific understanding and giving that specific what you call preparation is going to play a very, very important role. Why? Because in Kita Vishita told us, Esya doshasya lingadikyam prakurvayel tasya aushatir viparita gunam. Simple concept explained in the passage. Whatever the doshic predominance you see that, you just give to the opposite things. So Vatija, I tell you that the first thing you can say it's a Vatija Kita Visha it is, because Dashtasya Keter Vayavyo Damsham Todam Rujol So Toda and Rujol you can see nothing else there. So we can say that this is the Vatiga type of Kita Visha. So select the drug which have an opposite quality. That of course in the classic also we have given some important prescriptions. So that have to be done. Look at the next one. That is Agneyam or Paithigam. There's no doubt. Agneyer Alpa Samsravo Daha Raga Visarpavan spreading in nature. Okay. Pakko Filiu fellow Prakyam Karjura Sadrusho Atava. So here very clearly you can make it that it's a Pitta or Agneya conditions of Pitta Visha where the clinical presentation all talking about the Paithiga involvement. And last one is leading to chronicity, examitization, etc. Kafadigair Mandarujaha, Pakka Udumbara Pala Sannibaha, Sravatya. All such conditions. So the like way, when you look into the clinical condition, we could able to understand on the basis of doshic predominance, then our treatment is going to be easy. This is other kind, of course, a vast bite. Very next day she come with a swelling on the face, etc., etc. This also can be diagnosed easily and treated properly. Look at this condition. Okay, if you call it as Lutha Visha, nothing wrong in that. Okay, because in Lutha Visha, but I would like to say that most of the time, as I told, we say Lutha Visha when you treat, their conditions are entirely different. This is an herpes condition it is. But treatment go hand in hand. There's a slight difference in there how to manage a thing. Okay, that we'll discuss in the coming up class. Otherwise, the condition is going to flare up. Okay, this patient has gone to an allopathic doctor. He has been treated with for that same thing, herpes only, but it's not recovered. He come to an institution. Of course, it took 3 weeks. Of course, herpes to take 3 weeks to complete to resolve. But the advantage of this thing that if it have been managed with an allopathic treatment, surely, of course, might would have been got some result after late. But there's no doubt it might would have been ended with post-herpetic neuralgia. There's no doubt. Yeah, all the lesions will be clear, but patient will be having excruciating pain or burning sensation, which makes his life miserable. And finally, they do that cut that particular nerve ending so that there won't be any sensation. That's only way. Conservative treatment not give much result in post-herpetic neuralgia. But a come to an Ayurvedic thing in the purview of what you call, even though of course we diagnose it as herpes, it can be diagnosed. But when you add Lutha Visha treatment to this condition, it is recovered very well. So that person still, of course, he's come to once in OP to meet me because he says that doctor, you are the one who saved my life. That's the thing. So very, you can call it subacute condition. It's not that acute, but subacute. It irritates the patient, very much painful. So on Agatantra background, when you understand the therapies, you treat the thing, it can be treated very well. Of course, this is a simple herpes also, but of course, Luther with a time of thing is similar, but it can be diagnosed very well with the loose thumb. This is for example I took as a Dushi Visha. Okay, very simply, all of you know the thing, practitioner might don't have a doubt. It is a psoriasis, Sigma Kushta. Of course, if like I know treatment, when you treat, surely it also can be managed very well. But when you add the concept of Agatham, Visham, and Dushi in that, prescription, I have added Dushi, etc. in this particular thing. Of course, with Sneha and etc. This is a result. I can see it's 1 week we got the result. And finally, that lady nowadays with a patya and the simple medication. Of course, storage cannot be treated 100%. You don't claim that. Okay, but if patient under sick patyahara and some simple medication, a short period of in a year, we say that the reoccurrence of it can be prevented very well. So this patient is now almost, she's a small girl, that time it was, now she's a lady, she's leading a happy life. So this is our understanding the concepts. Okay. And of course, nowadays, very common, isn't it? Very common, you can see in general practice. Okay, atopic dermatitis, very common in children. Okay, Karappan we say. But here also, when you have the concept of where what you can call Dushi Visha concept in this, or Karappan also can treat. Karappan also Visha drugs have been explained. We'll understand the concept properly. We say how to treat, what are the medication can be given, and what along with the child, what patyahara or what medication can be given to mother. That also very important to treat in such condition. So in dermatological, what you call pediatric dermatology also, the concept of Visha, when you keep it in mind, it has a role in that. Okay, what you call dermographism positive. Okay, urticaria, very common nowadays. I tell you that the cases are increasing nowadays. Okay, patient always every day they're supposed to go for a levocetirizine or something like antihistamine drug. They will be fed up with that and they'll come to us. So we should be able to give a better idea. It also, as I told, okay, you doesn't that thing you ask them to admit and do all the show, then sometimes it's not practical. Patient might not, because they're happy with a simple levocetirizine, but they come for a simple medication. What can be done? This also can be managed very well, because when you have the concept of this Agatha Tantra, then what are the medicine, how to understand this concept, what is the role of Dushi Visha, Agadam or Hadidra Kandam or in some other drug LS40 in this particular condition, we should be able to understand. Okay, this is come to another one. This is an Ayurvedic physician can very well manage this condition. Okay, this is a snake bite. There's no doubt. I does not want to keep you more in suspense. It's a simple snake bite. It's a rat bite, rat snake bite, because that's how we're going to identify. You should be able to know it. Of course, when you don't say that snake bite, you doesn't have to bother much about. That doesn't mean that you have to take it very easily. No.
Reception
Okay, so you should be able to understand this concept correctly or diagnose this properly. This is doesn't have to bother with, because it's a rat snake, chera, what you call in Malayalam. It's a classical bite. It is a non-venomous bite. It does not require anything. Just see that secondary infection not taking place in that particular area. Just apply Vilvadi Guliga, give Vilvadi, observe the patient for, of course, national protocol says 24 hours, but when you are very clear, it is a non-venomous, 2 to 3 hours, we ask him to keep it in our clinic. With the Vilvadi Guliga, you can send it back. See that second infection not going to take place. The things can be done without much expenditure and mental trauma to the patient. Because when you go to an allopathic hospital, immediately they shift him to the ICU. That's a national protocol, nothing wrong in that. They're supposed to do that. Keep him 24 hours. So that is the mental trauma that going to cause to the family members and the expenditure. It matters. Okay. So can you believe that somebody got a snake bite? There is an ICU. You think that in their home they'll prepare food, the children will be fed properly? Absolutely not. So that mental trauma is going to be very, very high to the family. So that can be prevented when you are confident about this condition to diagnose and address them properly. What can be done? So such things, how to differentiate these things, and I will discuss in the coming up class. This is against a snake bite, but it is medically important, but not that acute. It's called what called pit viper poison. With a simple Ayurvedic formulation, we can manage with a minimal cost. Okay. This, of course, this is how you will diagnose the thing, because of the two prick marks are seen the thing, and necrosis already started. No doubt it is a venomous snake bite. Okay, that can be how limitation in the initial stage, it has to be given with, of course, we have a 60 years of experience. In olden days, we should treat with purely Ayurveda. Now, as I told, like that social acceptance, that is a matter. Initially, you're supposed to have allopathic treatment. That's my opinion. Of course, you can correct it because you are in your area, you are allowed to practice. So in my experience, I tell you that don't take risk of a thing. We doesn't have such a medicine some extent. Okay, so we are here start with antivenom and localize the thing. Then the next stage we start with an Ayurveda. So there is a what you call combining the both system is going to be important. There you're supposed to have the thing. Okay. And this is again, there no doubt you will be well versed that there's a prick mark. This is also a venomous snake bite. And as you shown previously, this also I think that you are going to diagnose it as venomous snake bite. But my dear friends, absolutely no, this is not a snake bite at all. Okay, that's how things differ. Okay, theoretically, very easy to understand the concept. If a two bite mark with a pricking like thing with a slight oozing, it is a venomous. Okay, if a scratch marks with extremity with a slight bleeding, it is not venomous. But there are a lot of what you call combinations you will get, combo variants you will get in the bite mark. So how to differentiate all this? It's not because of the thing, it's only some stick. I mean, two sticks have been pierced into the thing, but it looked like a snake. But immediately she ran and came to the hospital. I have been by the snake, absolutely, because you can see that there's no absolutely other marks in the nearby. You will get in neurotoxic snakes within no which neurotoxic snakes like the kite and cobra. You will get what you call there won't be any local symptom, but their systemic symptom might be there. And snakes and kite doesn't have that much difference in between the two fangs. So that all matters, the basics. So when you have combine all these things, keep it in the thing, then you can diagnose it as a venomous bite or not. So this is absolutely not a snake bite. And this is another area. Okay, post snake bite ulcers, very common. If you're not managed, if managed well also in Ayurvedic allopathic hospital, last they say that only way is amputation. These are the patients usually referred for amputation, but with a proper understanding the concept, proper way of treating with Ayurvedic concept, will take time. Not 1 or 2 days business it is. In this case, took almost 3 months to come to that of a normalcy. You can see the tendon, etc. Luckily, once, of course, I tell you that once the tendon have been cut down, we would have not done anything more to that. But luckily, it was intact, so we took able to treat the condition properly with 3 months. Almost is matured with a natural way of healing. Okay, so such amputated cases, even I tell you that in varicose ulcer, if you have, you just adopt the way of this treatment, it can be treated well. So that's all. So these are some of the photos I show you that we can treat such condition provided we have a very good basic idea, very good confidence in diagnosing. So our first line of treatment should be what we call the relieving the pain of the skin. Very, very important. It should Chikitsa Ruk Pradikriya. That definition itself say you give relax to the patient. You doesn't relieve the pain. You tell that I'll correct it. All the dhatus has to be corrected properly. What the another definition? What you study Chikitsa Chaturnam Vishagadinam Shastanam Dhatu Vaikritam Pravurtir Dhatu Satmyartham Chikitsa Nigadyate. If we go for correcting all the thing, if pain is not come down, very next day patient go to some another hospital or some another allopathic physician. Okay. So here, Ruk Pradikriya, relieve the pain. What other things can be done? Then treatment the symptom correctly and treatment of the poison, and you have to take care of that to avoid the further complication. As I told in the case of herpes, okay, the trigeminal nerve is involved in that, especially from the thing. So there you would have been end up with the post-herpetic neuralgia. But when you have we have an Ayurvedic way of understanding betterly, the patient does not develop post-herpetic neuralgia. So we should be able to know how to avoid the complications. And you should have a psychological approach also. That's very, very important nowadays because patient come with a lot of stress to your clinic if you have bitten by something or any such a nidana, you have any dermatological condition. So that has to be corrected properly. So as I told clearly, there will be local and systemic things will be there. And in local, of course, so here the selection of the medicine also plays a very important role. So internally, we have the Vishahamana Chikitsa and Dosha Shamana also plays a role. And external, we should have as per the Dosha predominance, you should apply. External as per Dosha told, the specific treatments are there. That's the classic gives. Kita as per the Dosha. Okay, Yasya Dosha se Lingadikyam Prakurvaya. But when it's come to Luta, we should have the Vata Pitta Shamanam. And in Bushriga, it's purely Vadahara with that of Pitta Samsarga will be there because Agnivat is very fastly spread. So that we should be able to understand. And this is the list of some internal medicaments very commonly we use. Okay, so one day, I think in the 7 days thing, one day we have allotted to understand how these particular drugs can be working in Visha, because some of the preparations are not explained in Visha context. So a drug explaining some Jora context can be given in Visha condition, and in Visha condition there are some drugs are explained that can be given in non-poisonous conditions also can be given. Once you understand the what you call pharmacodynamics or pharmaco whatever we call, we could able to understand on the basis of Ayurvedic concepts how this medicine can be given. These are the list of very commonly given medicine in our clinic. On Kerala in practice, we give the thing like okay, Nimbadi, Guduchavi, Patola, Katroni, all the yogas explained in Ashtanga and other thing. And of course, some rasa medicines also we will discuss, which can be very easily prepared in your clinic and it can be utilized. And external LEPA. I tell you, some of the LEPA might not available, but once you know the ingredients of it, very easy it is. Okay, if you have any mill nearby you where people grind and give you the powder of it, you buy the from your local market and give to them powder it and keep it as a fine powder. Very commonly it can be used because in dermatological conditions, Sthanika Chikitsa plays very important role. As explained, Charak in what you could call a Vatarakta Chikitsa. Okay, Sthanika Chikitsa is so important. But as an influence of modern medicine or practice end up with a prescription, we give some ointment. Even patient asks us, doctor give you some ointments to apply the thing. Absolutely don't give that. Teaching such a way that this is not the condition supposed to be treated with ointment. Ointment in the next stage only should be able to prefer. First, the simple dhara or application of the lepa, etc., etc. We can manage it. So, Vilvadi Kutika, of course, will be available. You can give it the condition. And Shri Guru Punanama, the only 8 ingredients are there. Shri Guru Punandama, Manjal Vayambu, Chandana Pata, Ishwaramudi, Sirisha, Esting, 10 ingredients. Sanskrit name also we'll discuss the thing. So buy all the things, so make it a very fine powder, Sarva Visha Vekam, and all set of Visha shop it can be used. So in your clinical practice, if it's not available also, you can use simple Harida Churna, Savoda Grada, Rakta Chandana, Lodram Sevyadi, Lodram Sevyam, Padmagam, Padmarid, only 10 drugs are there. So such a simple preparation, what you can call churna preparation, which is available, or we can in your nearby market, you buy it and prepare it. And of course, prescription practice has limitation in your practice. Okay, should be able to do minimum drugs, should be prepared, keep it in a clinic, and with that you could able to practice. So how this particular churna will be working, what way it has to be administered, etc., will be discussing in the coming up part. And along with that, as a general patya and apatya of fish has to be advised. So what the present day, what has to be advised to the patient. As you know, the thing, sour, salty, oil foods, non-vegetarian diet, excess work, etc. Contraindicated in vision in general. So you should be able to understand the concept, and simple light food has to be administered. And along with that, the patients come with allergic contact dermatitis. When a group of Sthavar, which of course in this slide I have not included that, as a end of a Sthavar Visha, there are a lot of such conditions, especially with the Bhallataka people get it. Okay, when you cut a tree, then you burn the thing. This is actually the season, isn't it? Where they clean their field, etc., etc. A patient will come when they get the theme of that particular Bhallataka. Very next day they come with the rashes all over the body with the burning sensation, etc., etc. Simple, what you call Vibhitaka. Okay, internal also Dhara with the Vibhitaka Phala, Majja going to give right result in that condition with some LS40 along with that Vilvadi Guluga. It's enough, you can manage. If you needed some Kashayam like Drakshadi or what you call Guluchadi Kashayam, etc., can be given in this condition. Or any Pittahara drug if you give along with this preparation, things can be controlled. But ingested poison, as I told, we have some limitations where kerosene usually come to work. But at that time, of course, as I told, if you are very well trained, you can manage the condition with gastric cleavage, etc., etc. You can go once you can go for that, and once the acute condition is solved, then you can manage with the other condition. And along with that, food poison, very commonly seen nowadays. It also can be managed very well. So what I want to say people that in the 7 days of these particular Pampa mastery things, I don't claim that you're going to become an expert in practicing it. But I am very sure that I ignite a light in your mind and your practice that you could be able to understand the concept. I'll give you the diagnostic tips and how to differentiate all the things. Will share all my knowledge to people so that you will be confident. Once confident is built in you, I'm very sure that you can practice. Okay. and where etc. limitations are. Okay, upayam chintayet purvam, apayam abhichintayet. You should know where the contraindication. That's what I tell my student. Rather than knowing the indication, doesn't know the indication, I don't mind, but you should know the contraindication where it's not supposed to be. So that make you a good practitioner. Okay, so with that, the introduction class on what are we are going to discuss in the coming days. I'm going to close here. If you have any queries, we'll discuss. And I hope that I'll meet all of you in the 8th to 14th day, where we discuss all these concepts in detail and we'll understand the thing. And after 14 days of it, I'm sure that you are confident enough to at least attend the case and say, yes, I can do it or I cannot do it. That way, I'm sure that I'll make you to understand the thing. So thank you one and all. And also I thank all the Pampa office bearers for giving me an opportunity to interact with people. And if permits, if people are there, sure, we'll have an interaction in the coming up days. So thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So we have a question. Hello,
Okay.
sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yes, we have a question from Dr. Adira SP.
Hmm.
Sir, in case of Jankama Visha, Stavara Visha is given. In that case, the formulation of Dushi Vishari Agada, Gairiga is used.
Yeah.
So, while using, whether we have to do Shodhana of Rasa drugs.
Okay, the restaurant rights, whenever you're giving internally, better go for Shodhana. Okay, Shodhana doesn't mean that it usually we teach or what we learn that Shodhana it detoxifies. Not only do it, there are a lot of what you call objectives are there in with what you can call Shodhana. Among one is not do it is what you call it helps improve its pharmacodynamicity. It helps to bind up with other. A lot of such things are there. We'll discuss that in later. If time permits, we'll discuss that in later in the coming up class. Okay. So better always go for, if it is specified, not specified, if you go for shorter.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I think Dr. Adira is clear with that.
Dr. Fatima, Dr. Suresh,
sir.
Suresh sir present now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Namaskaram, sir. Murali sir, namaskaram.
Namaskaram, sir. Namaskaram.
Sir, can I continue?
Sure.
Okay, so let me give you a brief knowledge about the course. The course duration is there any other questions? If you have any questions, please put it in chat box, or otherwise you can raise your hands. Meanwhile, I will give you an brief summary about the course. The course duration is 7 days, 2 hours each day. It will be start from March 8th up to March 14th. The timings will be 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The rooms will be open from 6:30 p.m. onwards. The course fee for the practitioners is 1,500 rupees, and we have 25% discount for the UG and PG students, that is 1,125 rupees. The course features includes, there will be an exclusive WhatsApp group with the faculty for your queries throughout the course duration. The recorded sessions can be accessed for the Pampa members, and it will enables you to differentiate Kita, Luta, Vristiga Vishas. It opens up the Visha Chikitsa in dermatology and the clinical management of Dushi Visha and Gara Visha. There will be the demonstration of live sessions on snakes also. And to register for the course, the links will be provided in the chat box. Please check with the chat box. The links are provided in the chat box. And while registering, the registrations will be done through Razorpay. The participants are requested to enter your full name during the registrations, and please provide your WhatsApp number so that only we can contact you further for the same. So with that, is there any other questions? Please put it in chat box, or you may raise your hands, all the participants. If you have any concerns, please put it in chat box, or you may raise your hands. Otherwise, we'll wind up the session. So I think there are no...
I think Suresh sir has to say something.
Yeah. So I think there are no other questions. So I welcome our treasurer, Dr. Suresh PK, for a few words. Sir, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Fatima. Our president, Dr. Krishnadas, and Murali sir, namaskaram.
Namaskaram,
Uh,
sir.
dear doctors, our Pamba, our aim of our Pamba is giving more importance in career programs. So this is our mastery, the continuation of series mastery classes. Today we are selecting Visha Chikitsa, clinical toxicology. And my request is you, dear doctors, please utilize this golden opportunity. Our Dr. Murali Dharan is a very much experienced and skilled in this Visha Chikitsa. You please utilize this golden opportunity and do well in your practice and give the feedback also after this attending this class. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So with that, let me introduce our wonderful team of Pampa, Dr. Veena P. Raghunathan, Dr. Fatimat KK, Dr. Anisha S. Ashraf, Dr. Rajashree Tia, Dr. Saurav KT, and Dr. Shruti Radhakrishnan. And I hope most of the members are Dr. Murali sir's students.
Yeah.
So thank you, sir. Thank you once again. It was a wonderful session. And thank you so much from my side and from on behalf of Pampa also. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. With that, we'll wind up the session with the prayer, with the Shanti mantra.
भिषजां साधुवृत्तानां भद्रमागमशालिनां स्वभ्यस्तकर्मणां भद्रं भद्रं भद्राभिलाषिणाम् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्
Let's all grow together, hone your skills every day. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Thank you, everyone. Thank you once again. Have a nice day.